When someone lies about you, let silence and karma speak louder than words. Have you ever felt the sting of someone twisting the truth about you? When lies are told behind your back, the instinct to fight back and clear your name can be overwhelming. But what if the wisest move is no move at all? Stoic philosophy offers a profound perspective. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Instead of wasting energy battling rumors, the Stoics teach us to remain composed and let time do its work. When people lie about you, reacting emotionally only adds fuel to the fire. Trying to defend yourself often draws more attention to the lie than it deserves. Worse, it gives the liar power over your emotional state. As Epictetus warned, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Why hand over that control? Liars often crave drama. They want to see you flustered, trapped in a cycle of defense and frustration. But your silence? That's unsettling. It sends a powerful message. I know the truth and I don't need your validation. The truth is like a slow-burning ember. Lies may spread quickly like wildfire, but in time, truth will blaze with undeniable clarity. Let's look at a powerful example. Jack was a rising star in the marathon world, honest, disciplined, and committed. After a big race, he finished with an impressive record. But instead of congratulations, he faced a storm of rumors. A jealous rival, Ryan, claimed Jack had cheated, accusing him of taking a shortcut. The rumor exploded on social media. Even some of Jack's close allies began to waver. Many urged him to speak out to prove his innocence. But Jack chose a different path. He said nothing. He trusted that the truth didn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. It would shine in its own time. Jack kept training. He kept competing. And eventually, the truth surfaced. Ryan, the accuser, was exposed for cheating in a previous race. In that moment, Jack's silence proved stronger than any argument. His integrity remained intact, and his reputation soared. Silence in the face of lies is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's strength. It's the decision to rise above the noise and let karma handle what needs no words. Even great spiritual figures understood this. When Jesus was falsely accused, he didn't argue. He didn't rage. He stood in silence and let his life and actions speak for him. So what should you remember the next time someone lies about you? The truth may take time, but it always surfaces. Integrity doesn't need explanation. Live it and let others see it. Karma never forgets. Those who spread lies will eventually face the consequences. And most importantly, your response defines you. Let silence be your strength. When someone betrays your trust, let silence be the loudest message. In the previous section, we explored how staying silent in the face of lies can preserve your dignity and allow karma to restore balance. But what happens when the pain cuts? Even deeper, when the person who hurts you is someone you trusted. Now we enter one of the most emotionally charged situations life can offer: betrayal. Trust is one of the most valuable gifts you can give. It's built over time, through shared experiences, loyalty, and emotional connection. But when that trust is broken, especially by someone close to you, the pain can feel unbearable. The immediate urge is often to demand answers, to call them out, to make them see what they've done. But would that truly heal the wound? According to Stoic philosophy, the answer is no. The Stoics teach that betrayal, painful as it is, offers a powerful opportunity for growth. It reveals the true character of others and, perhaps more importantly, of ourselves. When you've been betrayed by a friend, a lover, or a family member, the first instinct might be to confront them, to get closure, to hear them admit they were wrong. But do they ever really say what you want to hear? Often, the ones who betray us don't own up. They offer excuses, shift the blame, or act as if you overreacted. Trying to reason with them to explain your pain often leads nowhere. Worse, It may make you appear weak or desperate in their eyes. And that's exactly what a betrayer wants, to justify their actions without guilt. But here's what the Stoics knew well. Your silence can speak louder than any confrontation. Walking away without a word is not a sign of weakness. It is strength in its purest form. It shows that you value yourself too much to be pulled into the drama, to be used as a stage for their justifications. Betrayal doesn't deserve a dramatic ending. It deserves your calm, quiet exit. This lesson was clearly illustrated in the story of Emily and Sarah. They had been best friends for over a decade. Through ups and downs, secrets shared and shoulders leaned on, their bond seemed unbreakable. But one day, Emily learned the truth. Sarah had been spreading false stories about her at work, damaging her reputation to elevate her own. At first, Emily was devastated. She felt the fire of betrayal burn in her chest. She wanted to confront Sarah, demand answers, expose the lies. But after a moment of quiet reflection, she chose a different path. She walked away. No arguments, no explanations, just silence. Time passed. Emily thrived. Sarah eventually reached out with an apology, but it was too late. Emily had grown, healed, and moved on. She had learned that people who betray your trust never deserved a place in your future. So how should you handle betrayal? The Stoics give us a simple yet powerful framework. First, accept the painful truth. Not everyone is trustworthy, and that's not your burden to carry. Second, don't explain. They know what they did. They just don't want to face it. Third, leave with your dignity. Say nothing. Let your absence be your answer. As Seneca once said, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Betrayal is one of those trials. You can let it break you, or you can let it shape you. Silence in the face of betrayal isn't weakness. It's the quiet strength of someone who chooses peace over chaos. It's the unspoken message that says, you no longer have power over me. Let them wonder. Let them feel the weight of your absence, and let karma do the rest. When someone insults you, master the art of not reacting. In the last section, we faced the pain of betrayal and discovered that silence can be the most dignified response. But not all wounds come from those close to us. Sometimes, it's strangers or casual acquaintances whose sharp words cut deep. How do we deal with insults meant to provoke us? Insults are not just words. They are weapons designed to shake your emotions, wound your pride, and steal your peace. But here's the thing. Those weapons only work if you allow them to. The Stoics understood this well. They taught that insults only have meaning if you assign them meaning. Imagine someone hurling cruel words at you. Your first instinct may be to respond, to defend your character, to lash back. But if you pause, take a breath and do nothing, something powerful happens. You take control. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." That means rising above the insult. It means not becoming like the person who is trying to drag you down. Why do people insult others? Often it's not about you at all. It's about them, their pain, their insecurity, their need to feel superior. When they see that their words don't affect you, they lose. Completely. Your silence tells them their efforts are meaningless. There's a quiet strength in not reacting. You maintain your dignity. You protect your energy. You stay focused on what truly matters. Abraham Lincoln, known for his wisdom and restraint, once faced a public insult. Instead of replying with anger, he calmly responded with wit and poise. His response disarmed the attacker and won the admiration of everyone else. This is not about being passive. It's about choosing your battles, and sometimes choosing not to fight at all, because some fights aren't worth your time. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If someone throws words like stones, don't pick them up and throw them back. Let them fall. Step over them. Keep walking. Here's how to respond. To insults the Stoic way. Recognize the provocation. Understand that they want a reaction. Stay calm. Take a breath. Your peace is more valuable than their attention. Detach your identity. Their words do not define you. Your actions do. Let your silence speak. By not responding, you demonstrate power. The truth is, insults don't harm you. Your reaction to them does. When you respond with silence, you take away their power and you stay in control. So the next time someone tries to pull you into their drama with an insult, remember, your silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Let your calm be your strength, and let karma take care of the rest. When they play the victim, don't argue, just observe and stay silent. In the previous part, we learned how to remain calm and in control when faced with direct insults. But not all attacks are loud and obvious. Sometimes the damage comes wrapped in pity, in tears, in manipulation. What do you do when someone always makes themselves the victim, even when they're the one causing harm? This situation is trickier. Unlike insults, which are aggressive and confrontational, playing the victim is subtle and calculated. It's not about shouting over you, it's about bending the truth until they appear innocent and you become the villain. These people master the art of distortion. They exaggerate events, twist the facts, and use emotional appeal to gain sympathy. They avoid accountability and instead project guilt onto others. If you try to explain or defend yourself, you often end up tangled in their version of reality. The Stoics would say, step back. Don't try to win an argument against someone who rewrites the rules mid-conversation. You're not dealing with a seeker of truth. You're dealing with a master of illusion. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In this case, the best reaction is no reaction at all. Take Mia's story as a perfect example. She worked with a colleague who constantly played the victim. Every time something went wrong, that person shifted the blame to Mia, crying, exaggerating, even making up stories that painted Mia as cruel and unkind. At first, Mia tried to explain herself, provide evidence, and correct the narrative. But the more she tried, the worse things got. The manipulator knew exactly how to use emotion to turn people against her. Eventually, Mia made a wise decision. She stopped responding. No more clarifications, no more explanations. She let her work speak for itself and remained silent. Over time, the truth emerged on its own. People started to see through the lies. The manipulator was exposed, not by confrontation, but by their own contradictions. That's the power of silence. When someone plays the victim, what they fear most is your indifference. They crave attention and reaction. When you refuse to participate, their entire act begins to fall apart. Without someone to blame, they lose their script. Here are a few things to remember when dealing with a chronic victim mindset. Don't try to explain. They don't want the truth. They want a stage. Don't defend yourself endlessly. The more you speak, the more they twist. Stay calm and consistent. Let your actions build your credibility. Trust karma and time. The truth has a way of surfacing when the noise dies down. Manipulators can fool people for a while, but not forever. Lies are heavy. They collapse under their own weight. Your job is not to argue, but to stay centered, focused, and silent. Think of it like walking past a house of mirrors. Every angle is distorted. If you stop and stare, you might get confused. But if you keep walking, the reflections disappear, and the real world comes back into view. In Stoic thought, silence, in the face of manipulation, is not surrender, it's sovereignty. You are not obligated to participate in someone else's performance. Let them act alone. And when the curtain falls, the audience will see them for who they really are. When they ignore your worth, let silence teach what words never can. In the last section, we saw how manipulators use victimhood to twist narratives, but silence can untangle their web. Now, let's turn to another subtle yet painful experience: being overlooked and unappreciated. Have you ever given your full effort, your care, your time, only to feel invisible? Whether at work, in friendships, or in romantic relationships, there are moments when your contributions go unnoticed, when your presence is taken for granted, and it hurts. But instead of pushing harder to prove yourself, the Stoics offer a surprising alternative. Stop trying. Let your silence and your absence speak. People often fail to recognize what's always available. It's human nature to ignore what feels constant and only notice it once it's gone. This doesn't mean your efforts lack value. It means others were too distracted or entitled to see it. Think of it this way: a diamond doesn't lose its brilliance because someone walks past it. Its value remains the same, whether admired or ignored. You might ask, shouldn't I speak up and demand recognition? But the truth is, the more you chase validation, the more it slips away. Real worth doesn't need to be announced. It just is. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In the same way, don't argue for your worth. Live it. Let your consistency, your strength, your quiet effort be the proof. And when others fail to see it, withdraw. Let the empty space you leave behind become the lesson they never expected. Tesla's story embodies this truth. Nikola Tesla, one of history's greatest inventors, was overlooked and even ridiculed in his time, especially by Thomas Edison. But Tesla didn't retaliate. He didn't fight for the spotlight. He stayed focused on his work, and in time, his inventions changed the world. Today, his name is remembered with reverence, while his silence during years of rejection has become a symbol of dignity. Jesus, too, was ignored, mocked, and ultimately betrayed. Yet, he remained silent through it all, not out of weakness, but out of trust in something greater. Today, his message lives on in the hearts of billions. So what do you do when others ignore your worth? Stop explaining. Your value is not up for debate. Step back. Let absence reveal what presence once gave. Focus on yourself. Improve, grow, thrive, whether they see it or not. When someone ignores your worth, don't fight to be seen. Disappear gracefully, and let time and karma do the talking. One day, they may realize what they lost, but by then, you'll have gone too far ahead to turn back. Silence isn't just about withholding words. It's about withholding access. It's about letting others feel your absence and finally recognize what they once had. Let your silence teach them, and let karma finish the lesson. When they try to provoke you, silence is the highest form of strength. In the last part, we explored how silence can reveal your value when others fail to see it. But now we move into another common and exhausting test. When someone deliberately tries to provoke you, you've probably encountered them. People who push your buttons on purpose. They poke, they prod, they stir the pot just to see you explode. They feed off your reaction like it's a personal victory. But what if the most powerful reaction is none at all? Stoic philosophy teaches that provocateurs are not worthy of your energy. Their goal isn't truth or resolution, it's control. And your emotional reaction gives them exactly that. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In other words, you can't stop people from being toxic, but you can. Stop yourself from being pulled into their storm. When someone insults you, mocks you, or attempts to trigger your temper, your silence becomes a wall they can't climb. It's not coldness, it's clarity. By not responding, you show that their actions cannot reach your inner peace. Imagine, A game where someone throws a rope, hoping you'll grab it and start a tug of war. If you never pick up the rope, the game ends before it begins. This was the silent power Winston Churchill mastered. At a party, a woman told him, "If you were my husband, I'd put poison in your tea." Churchill, without anger, replied, "If I were your husband, I'd drink it." Calm, witty, untouched by emotion. His control won the moment without raising his voice. You can do the same, not through sarcasm, but through stillness. Here's how to deal with provocation like a Stoic. Recognize the trap. Understand that the person is seeking your reaction. Pause and breathe. A deep breath is your first shield. Detach emotionally. Their words reflect them, not you. Respond with silence or a calm smile. Nothing frustrates a provocateur more than indifference. Let karma handle the rest. They'll eventually reap what they sow. When you stay silent, you protect your time, your peace, and your dignity. You send a message without saying a word. You don't have power over me. Remember, true strength is not loud. It's not reactive. It's quiet, steady, and unshakable. So the next time someone tries to bait you into conflict, don't take the bait. Walk away, stay silent, and let karma do what it always does. Balance the scales in its own time. When they regret losing you, let your absence be the lesson. Previously, we uncovered how silence can disarm provokers and preserve your peace. Now we come to one of the most emotionally empowering moments in life, when someone finally realizes your worth after you've walked away. There comes a time when the people who ignored you, mistreated you, or took you for granted start to feel your absence. But by then, it may be too late. And that's exactly the lesson. When someone regrets losing you, the most powerful response is not to return with open arms or offer explanations. The most powerful response is silence. You see, when you're always available, people stop noticing. They mistake your loyalty for obligation, your kindness for weakness, your presence for permanence. But once you walk away, once you stop reaching out, once you remove yourself from their world, the emptiness begins to speak. Stoic philosophy reminds us that your value isn't determined by how others treat you, but by how you choose to treat yourself. Walking away doesn't mean giving up. It means rising up. It means choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, self-worth over attachment. Many people make the mistake of explaining their departure. They write long messages, try to make the other person understand the pain they caused. But why? If someone didn't appreciate you when you were near, what makes you think they'll, suddenly, value your words now? Your silence teaches more than 1,000 explanations ever could. Take Joe, for example, a kind, selfless man who gave everything to his relationships. Friends, co-workers, even family leaned on him constantly. Yet when he needed help, they were nowhere to be found. One day, he simply stopped showing up. No arguments, no announcements. He disappeared. At first, no one noticed, but slowly, people began to feel the void. They realized they had lost someone rare. When they reached out to reconnect, Joe had already moved on. The door had quietly closed. That's the kind of silence that leaves a mark. Here's what Stoic wisdom tells us to do when they regret losing you. Don't return just because they miss you. Ask if they've changed, or just feel lonely. Don't explain your departure. Let them reflect on their behavior. Let your absence speak. It's more honest than any speech. Move forward, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. There's a saying, when you remove toxic people from your life, you make room for peace. And peace doesn't beg to be let back in. It doesn't plead to be seen. You were never too much. You were never not enough. You were simply not seen by the wrong people. and now they have to live with that. Let karma do the work. Let time reveal the truth. Let your silence remind them of what they lost. And most importantly, let yourself grow so far ahead that returning is no longer an option. Because sometimes, the strongest message you'll ever send is the one you never say out loud.